Welcome to Beginners Vinyasa Yoga. Take your formal sit in Siddhasana, turn the palms up one at a time, and just open yourself to the pure joy of being. As we sit in our meditation pose, grounding out through the sit bones, and as we press down, we rebound energy along our spine, drawing up, heart opening, crown reaching skyward, connecting with all that is. With the eyes closed, we practice pratyahara. We let go of our day, of our week, of our year, even of our lifetime, and just be present to how we feel. As we activate our feeling self and activate our breath, we come to know the truth of who we are. Feel the deep passage of breath from lower belly to collarbones and back down again. We're bringing the hands up into lotus mudra. Fingers are spread. The thumbs and the pinky fingers will touch, and there's an openness like a chalice at the heart chakra, receiving of the golden nectar. Our drishti goes to Father Sky. We look up for hope and inspiration, and we send that chalice all the way up to receive the beautiful bounty of universal source. This is our divine right to take in this energy. Let yourself flow back down. Palms are turned down over the knees. Palms turned up, the receptive energy. Let's move into arm circles, starting to bring heat and energy through the body. The energy that we refer to in yoga, we call prana. This life force, this vital force, sweep it up and around the body with the arm circle and center down through prayer pose with the hands resting temporarily in Anjali Mudra at the heart chakra. As we flow on, expanding breath, light, movement. The mind is focused. We're moving into a true state of yoga, the union of all these elements. Flowing on with our arms circle, draw the elbows towards each other, and then allow one hand to come to the earth. If it feels right, lay that forearm down. You want to press into the opposite hip as your arm extends with the shoulder blade down the back. There's length through the spine on the inhale, and it's the exhale that helps us revolve from the navel center. As we flow on to the other side, let's apply this again, talking now further about that inhalation through the spine and the exhalation to revolve out of the navel center will massage and tonify through your digestive organs. Drishti can be either to the underside hand if the neck allows it, or just to the underside of the arm. Inhale, sit yourself up. Palms rest down over the knees, and palms turn up, receptive, open, flowing through just one arm circle. Bring the hands through prayer and bow down, extending your arms out. Spread out as much as you can through the fingers. This will activate those arm meridians. The inhale, the length through the spine, open heart, head up. The exhale to fold down, really having reverence for Mother Earth as you tuck into her. Again, the inhale to lengthen, beautiful open heart chakra. Exhale and we fold, all the while pressing back down through the sit bones. There's all this amazing length through your spinal column, awakening. Keep flowing, breath and movement working together as one, true state of meditation. On your next inhalation, pull yourself up and over onto your knees. You can rock back onto those feet, and we're taking the feet out wide for a squat. We really want to base down through the tailbone and draw up with the arms on the inhale, one arm at a time, wrap down and around under your knee. Inhale to gaze up, lift and open the heart center as you base down through the coccyx. On the exhale, let the drishti, the gaze, go to the earth, but keep the lift of that heart center. The beautiful malasana, really opening into the major joints of the body. The ankle, the knee, the hip, the wrist, the elbow, the shoulders is all releasing, and you're breathing and sending the mind focus into these body parts. As we flow on, the hands are down and we can tilt the sit bones all the way into the sky as the legs straighten out. Salamba Uttanasana. It's a supported version of this standing forward bend. So holding those forearms and gathering up Uddiyana Bandha. So suctioning the belly up into the ribs on the inhale and then exhale, dropping down into a deeper fold. All the while tilt and separate the sit bones to the sky and press down through the heels. Let the excess thinking, problem solving and planning just cascade out of the crown chakra. Let Mother Earth gather it for you. And then gather up that earth energy. Inhale, big arm circle, take it to the heavens. And exhale, step your way up to the top of the mat. Just coming into Tadasana, finding this amazing foundation pose. We learn so much about alignment through this pose and we take it into every other pose that we do. Tailbone down, ribs in, heart open. Fingers and toes are spread. Feel the energy flowing in both directions. Some meridians flowing from the feet to the head and some from the head to the feet. As we flow with our first arm circle, moving into a Vinyasa, salute to the sun, the exhale to fold, Uttanasana. With the Vinyasa flow, we inhale and we come into Ardha Uttanasana. So it's a half version of that standing forward bend. It's the exhale to come down to the flat of the hand and step the feet back one at a time into plank. We're doing beginners, so as we dig the elbows into the body, we allow ourselves to come all the way to the earth. Tap the third eye down and then inhale for cobra. Really work the elbows into the side body, press into the tops of the feet. As you transition to down dog, curl the toes under. It's a big exhale to apex up through the sit bones and then descend the energy through the back of the legs. Your thighs roll in and towards each other. And then there's a sense of the thighs drawing to the back of the mat. The shoulder blades coming down the back. You've got the scoop up of Mula Bandha, seal from the perineum to the navel. Keep on breathing and softening. We've got a few extra breaths in down dog in our Vinyasa flow, so you've got a chance to really align. Before we flow on and inhale, look up between the hands, exhale, bend the knees, pull back. It's a big inhale with the Mula Bandha lifted to step up to the top of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And then it's an exhale, Uttanasana. Squeeze out the last bit of breath there, really cleanse those lungs. Inhale, unravel yourself. Beautiful arm circle to lift high, reach for the stars. They're yours for the taking. And then exhale, arms wide down to the side, Tadasana. Feel the energy from the toes cascading up through the legs. Let's sit into our throne now. So Utkatasana, chair pose. We'll squeeze the knees together and pull the arms up. The exhale is a fold down through prayer pose, Uttanasana. Inhales the flat back and the open heart, Ardha Uttanasana. Come down to the flat of the hand and step your feet back one at a time into plank pose. Now draw your ribs into your spine as you do this. Keep the buttocks soft. Come down to the mat on that exhale, but keep the elbows into the side body. They remain there for Bhujangasana, open heart. Curl your toes under, exhale, downward facing dog. So let's start to flow on. Inhale, draw your right leg up behind you, square the outer hip with the floor. Exhale, bend the knees, squeeze into the colon for a moment before taking the foot through. Press your back heel away as you inhale, draw your arms up above the head, taking Temple Mudra, index fingers point up. The inhale really pulls length up through the body. The exhale descends the energy down. So it's this grounding force, driving your front knee forward and your back heel away. Inhale. Start to dig into the front foot and draw your back knee into the sky and then hug it in. So one of our themes for today's practice is kind of like that squat feeling that we had at the beginning of the class. So again, it's like a standing squat on one leg. It's really pulling that knee up into the chest. You're really getting into the digestive organs. You're focusing here. It's a balanced pose as well. So you've got your drishti, your breath is full and deep. That next exhale can take the knee out to the side. Now that's only if you're nice and balanced, so that's an option for you today. It's a beginner's version, so it's a bent knee, makes it a bit easier. As we come back to center, we really bend into our right knee, and that controls the movement to take the left foot back, Temple Mudra on the inhale, Exhale, bring the hands either side of the front foot, step into plank, come to the floor. And then Bhujangasana, beautiful, courageous cobra. The exhale is downward facing dog. So now we know the flow. It's going to be the same on this left leg as it flies up into the sky. Pull that knee into the chest. Squeeze the large intestine. Lightly place the foot through. Press down, and then you've stabled to inhale the arms up, temple mudra. Drop the shoulder blades down the back. You don't want to pinch your neck. You've got your tailbone driving down, your bandhas pulling in, your ribs back, your heart open. You're focused, and that will assist you then for this balance pose as you draw that back leg up, knee squeezes up into chest. So gather it in the hands. If you're wobbly, don't worry. Even if the foot goes down, just simply refocus. Get your breath regulated. For those that are going on, you can pull that knee out to the side. You've got your hand steadying you there on the left side, just on the hip. You've got your drishti, your breath, your foot really planting. It all helps you here. Knee back to center, big deep bend into that left knee. Let the right foot come back behind you. Find a natural position, and then use the exhale to come to plank all the way down to the earth. Plant your hands. Feel the fierceness of cobra, the beautiful back bend on the inhale. Curl the toes under. The exhale is downward facing dog. So when we do a vinyasa practice, we always have this time in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog, to reacquaint ourselves with the breath, just to ensure that we're aligned. We move inward. As we flow on, we look up between the hands, we pull back with the knees bent. Now we keep that real big scoop of Mula Bandha to pull those feet up into top of the mat. The inhale, Adho Uttanasana. The exhale, Uttanasana. And then press down through those feet. Open yourself with a beautiful sweeping arm circle. Look up between your hands. The exhale to Tadasana. Aligned and energized. Centered. Inhale as we flow on. Arm circle. Exhale and fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, offer your golden heart to the world. Adho Uttanasana. Exhale, step the feet back one at a time into plank pose, and then squeeze the elbows in. Lower yourself to beautiful Mother Earth. Feel the openness of cobra on the inhale. On the exhale, curl the toes under, downward facing dog. So a little variation as we fly the right leg into the sky. This time point the toe onto the ball of the left foot, look up between the hands. On the exhale again, squeeze the knee in, beautiful colon cleanse. This time turn the back foot in, so you've got heel to arch alignment. Your front hand is on either the ankle or the knee, wherever you want to take Trikonasana. It's the inhale to length through the spine, it's the exhale to revolve from the navel center. So once we're at this level to do a vinyasa practice, we kind of know what we're doing with these basic standing poses. So we can use one breath to come into that completed pose. Inhale, draw yourself up into center, and exhale, sink Virabhadrasana 2. Really radiate powerful warrior energy. It's exploding out of all your chakras. It's there through the fierceness of the arms, the warrior's sword, wielding your power. As we do a big inhale and then exhale, length through the underside waist. Because this is still a beginner's practice, we're going to just rest here with the forearm on the front knee. Energize through that top arm. It's a wrist, elbow, shoulder alignment to run more energy through those arm meridians. Roll down through the outside edge of your back foot for stability. Tap the top hand to the hip and come into, here's our theme again. This time it's a little half squat. So your right leg is extended out and your toes are really drawing back. And that's actually the left leg that's extended out there. So it's the right leg that's forward if you're following along with me. You really want to base down through your tailbone, draw up through your bandhas. Let's keep flowing. This is vinyasa. So inhale, spiral around, come back to plank, come all the way to the earth. On that exhale, it's the inhale cobra, and it's the exhale into our downward facing dog. So just feel the length coming through the spine. As we inhale, fly that left leg into the sky and look up between the hands. Squeeze the knee in. Lightly place the foot through between the hands. I'm going to turn away from you today just so you can see what's going on from the back angle. But you just keep on flowing. Arrange yourself wherever you need to continue to watch me. So here's our Trikonasana. Tuck under through the front leg hip so you can stop that energy pooling in the hip and you can let it lengthen all the way through the spine. Then the exhale, revolve. It's the inhale to bring you up into center, and it's the exhale to sink into Virabhadrasana 2. So you'll get this feeling with Vinyasa, it just keeps flowing, breath and movement. Even in a still pose, you're wriggling around, you're getting energy where you want it to go. So the next big exhale, come down, Pajvakonasana. It's our beginner's version of this pose. Tuck under through that front hip, so again, you can get the length into the spine. You're energized, but you're relaxed. The two forces meet together. The yogi sits at the midpoint between the effort and the effortlessness. Sink down into that half squat. So you've got this leg really extended out and the toes pull back, the toes fan. Base down through the tailbone, draw up through the bandhas. The hands are in prayer pose. So get those hands positioned either side of that front foot. So you can step back to plank, come down onto the earth. The inhale for Bhujangasana. The exhale is downward facing dog. And you'll be feeling a lot of heat and a lot of energy buzzing through you. And prana can definitely feel like this. It's like this pulsation, universal life force, really starting to pump its way through your meridians. It's exhilarating. Feel the unlocking of energy through the spine as we inhale. Look up between the hands. Exhale, pull back, knees bent. Big inhale to make your way up to the top of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And then exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, expand every fiber of your being to reach for your higher good. And exhale, Tadasana. So we're going to prepare for Utkatasana again. Sink into the knees, squeeze the knees together. Use the side body to draw the arms up, ribs back. Look up between the hands and then exhale. Bring the hands through prayer as we fold down Uttanasana. Keep on flowing. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Pull the bandhas in. Exhale, step back one at a time into plank pose. Really draw the elbows deep into the side body. Earth yourself down. Flow open, press into the top of the feet and lift those kneecaps before exhaling, downward facing dog. So another variation, right leg this time, turn the hip out, point the toe and the spiral from the navel and look to the right armpit. It's our dog splits. As we exhale, we square the hip, bend the knee, and then this time the knee comes to the inside of that right wrist. Lengthen out through your left leg, press down through your hands to inhale and look up. And then exhale, flow on down, Raja Kapotasana. It's our beautiful hip opener. You can feel the energy come through gallbladder meridian, outside band of that right leg, pulling deep into the hip. You'll also feel stomach meridian, kind of to the front outside of that front leg. The hip openers really get into all our childhood baggage. It can make us cry and get us frustrated, but that's okay. That's what is doing the healing work for us. Let's inhale and look up. Now we're going to spiral around to that back leg. Take hold of the foot if it serves you today. The inhale can push the foot away and the exhale can pull the heel closer to the buttocks. So you can play with that a few times if you want to. Only for those who are going on. Inhale, push the foot away, and exhale, see if the foot will sit in the crease of the elbow. You can start to move your way with the torso back to center and inhale up the right arm, maybe sit here for a while, or on the exhale, close the hand down and take a link with the hands. Your drishti can go to your third eye or to the sky. If this is too deep for you, just find a modification that works well for you today and keep breathing. Release on out with the inhale. The exhale, plant the hands down, curl the back toes under. We're going to do a variation. So fly your right leg into the sky. Now this wouldn't be beginners because we've come to chaturanga. So we've hovered above the floor on that exhale. The inhale to up dog and the exhale to down dog. So I'm just putting that in there for you, just getting you used to when we move to intermediate vinyasa. Let's get to that left side. Inhale, dog splits. Exhale, bend the knee in, squeeze the colon. Lay that knee down, slide the right leg back, square the hips off as you inhale. Gather the energy through the spine and the heart and the crown. And the exhale, really descend down into the loving observation of yourself, connection to Mother Earth. Let the mind awareness go into the hip. Where the mind goes, the energy flows. It's very important we have that meditative quality as we do our practice. Feel the hip release all that stored emotion. Just be present, nothing to change, just to feel. Inhale to look up, plant those hands down, and again, just radiate all the way through the spine. Turn around to that right leg, gather the foot into the hand. Inhale, push the foot away. Exhale, pull the heel a little bit closer to the buttocks. So just see where it works for you today. We're never forcing. We're enjoying the energy flow as it comes up through the front quad there on the right side and into the hip flexor. So push the foot away with the inhale. And then maybe, see how you go. Maybe that foot can sit in the crease of the elbow. And then rotate back into the front of the mat. Inhale, draw the left arm up. And then exhale, see if those hands will link together. You've got more of a rotation to the front mat and the drishti goes up to the sky or to your third eye. So it's very focused, it's very extended. Breathing. Releasing out with the inhale. It's the exhale to take the hands back. And you can fly on that next inhale, the leg up, exhale down to chaturanga or go to the floor. And you can use the inhale for cobra or up dog. So the difference with up dog to cobra is that the knees and thighs are lifted off the ground and the arms are straight. So you can remember that as we start to move towards intermediate vinyasa. But here we are in this classical pose, downward facing dog, breathing, just checking in with ourselves. No judgment for what's happened in the class so far, just pure enjoyment as we flow on. Inhale, and then on your exhale you can step or lightly take a hop into that beautiful squat pose again, this time with the hands in Anjali Mudra, prayer pose. So again, feel that beautiful squeeze for the digestive organs. You can sink the knees into the armpits there, and that will help you then when you come up for your bakasana, your crow pose. So press the hands down, have a drishti, pull the bandhas up, see how you go, either step all the way back into that lowered plank or you can jump. The inhale for cobra or up dog, the exhale for downward facing dog. You may want to pause the video and just try that again, or come back to this class another time, or that can be just a separate practice you do. Have a bit of playtime and have a bit of a muck around and see how you go with that transition from crow to chaturanga. Ripple the energy along the spine with the inhale, look up between the hands. Exhale, pull back, knees bent. Inhale, step those feet up to the top of the mat, Ardha Uttanasana. And then it's the exhale, Uttanasana. Let's come up this time as we went in through Utkatasana. So sink down, squeeze the knees together, power the arms up, come all the way up. And as a variation, we'll pull the hands down through prayer pose. And just have a moment here to rest, to breathe. Press the back of the thumbs into the open heart. Feel your own heartbeat. This is amazing, tuning into your own rhythm, getting to know who you are, how you feel through the heart. This is where your wisdom lies. It's not to be found in your logic or your analysis. Get deep into your heart center. Feel that beat pulsing against the back of the thumbs. Adore yourself. Revel in who you are. You are extraordinary in all ways. Breathe and be. Come through to Tadasana. Let's inhale, draw the arms up and above the head. Exhale and we fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, you know the flow. Step the feet back one at a time into plank pose. We're coming into our floor work now, so come all the way down to the earth. Just prepare yourself for a beautiful back bend. So your third eye is on the earth. The arms can just sweep back beside the body and then curl one leg in at a time. Reach back for the feet or the ankles. So as we come into Dhanurasana bow pose, the inhale, length through the spine. The exhale, we kick the feet into the hands. That will naturally pull you up. So you're just repeating that same process. Inhale. Actually think about the front body on the inhalation, even though it's a back bend, but the back bend as you kick the feet into the hands will naturally take you up. Drishti to the third eye. That's quite strong, so just come down whenever you need to. Turn your head to one side, relax your shoulders, sink into the earth. Let Mother Earth nurture and nourish you like any good mother would. She'll take your weight and your burdens and hold you up. Surrender. It's amazing. We're going to prepare to do another Dhanurasana or bow pose. So gather your strength and think about that concept of, even though it's a back bend, the inhale is the focus on the front body to run energy along the front body. So gather those feet in. Inhale. Feel that length through front body. Exhale. Kick the feet into the hands. You'll naturally find you just start to arch up. Your drishti goes to the sky. Now some of you, as you get higher, will naturally get a bit of a rock going. So you can go with that. It's really nice. And then come down, turn your head to the other side, and just let go. We do a strong pose like this, we can feel the rush of prana through the meridians as we take our rest. This is very important that we get to have a direct experience of the prana in the meridians. It's what gives us not only energy, but also deep relaxation. The two forces combine in yoga and become who you are. Press the hands down for beautiful cobra pose. On the inhale and the exhale is your downward facing dog. So we've done our amazing and powerful back bend. We've released fears. We've opened chakras. Really, really dynamic pose. Let's think about counterbalancing poses now. So when we do a back bend, we want to counterbalance with a forward bend. So we're going to do our usual steps to prepare. This time, instead of walking up to the top of the mat, cross the feet in front of you and then roll back onto the buttocks. So preparing for forward bend, actually take a moment to adjust onto your sitting bones. Peel the spare flesh back and then inhale, draw the arms up. Exhale, coming forward. You're really driving out through the heels, the balls of the feet, the toes pull back and a fan. The inhale, pull back with the hands on the legs or the feet and really lever your torso forward. It is forward bend after all, so aim forward, shoot for your dreams, open your heart, and then really bow into your sacred self as you start to exhale deeper and then inhale deeper. This is a restorative pose. You should be able to get into a nice deep breath. You're penetrating into the inner soul through the forward bend because it naturally creates this introspection. Metaphysically, your forward bend, it's all about your future energy. So in the moment, you know that you are looked after. It's not about trying to control your future. It's about trusting in your future. Inhale to look up, sit your way up, and then just start to bring yourself down onto the mat. Knees coming up and into the chest. We're pressing down through our hands. Now this can help us to get some more leverage, seal up through the bandhas, and start to extend your legs straight. So just depending on how you want to work today, this may be enough for you. For others who are going on, keep the bandhas engaged and pull the legs over the head and then start to lengthen up. So to begin with, maybe have a bit of a bend through that body, and that can be enough for today. Only for those that are going on, you're walking your hands up the back. At the same time, you're wanting to get these elbows as close together as you can. Vinyasa is our shoulder stand. This is a pose that gives us natural Jalandhara Bandha. Jalandhara Bandha is the chin lock. So you can see here and feel here it's happening immediately. You can increase that by drawing the throat towards the neck. Massage into your thyroid and thymus glands. Amazing to heal the throat chakra, to say what you mean, to mean what you say. You're allowed to speak your truth, to express what's in your heart. Now, for those that are really working on the alignment, ultimately you want to stack your ankles over your knees over your hips over your shoulders. But it is a beginner's class, so don't force that. Just see where you're going today. Find where you have that midpoint, as we spoke about before, between effort and effortlessness. The yogi sits in the midpoint, the yin and yang of all things. If you want a variation today, and it is your choice again, you can split the legs. So we're doing a shoulder stand with a scissor split. We're really getting this energy then into the inner thigh. So we can think about liver, kidney, spleen meridians. And you feel that bladder meridian too through the back of the leg start to activate. So it's a beautiful release. We've got the hands on the lower back here supporting us. As we come out, draw the knees into the forehead. Take the legs to a semi-straightened position, hands down to support you, and then flow down. We roll all the way up and we're coming into Baddha Konasana. So you can stay as you are. I'm just going to turn around so you can see me a little bit better. And we want to, again, adjust onto the sit bones. The Baddha part of this pose, Baddha is bound, so this is the bound feet. The Kona is the angle of the knees, Baddha Konasana, but also known as beautiful butterfly pose. Now you've got a choice to stay in butterfly, only for those that want to deepen. Start to work into the fuller version, taking the legs out straight. Now really pull back through those toes. The inhale can bring length and the exhale, come on down. I'm going to take you just to a beginner version, so come onto your forearms. Now if it's natural for you to go all the way to the chest and extend the arms out, great. If you've got a bolster at home and you want to rest on that, that's a nice option too. And at any time you could take this pose into a restorative pose and hold for 5 minutes to 20 minutes, as long as you are very comfortable and relaxed. But we're more extended here, so we're breathing, we're flowing, we're pulling up through the kneecaps, we're getting that length through the spine. But it is also about relaxing and surrendering. Again, let those two forces meet together as one. Come on out, inhale, look up, and then take the weight off the inner thigh and onto the hand. Step the feet to this position now. This is Parivrtta Janusasana. So we've got one foot coming into the inner thigh. The hand comes down onto the leg. The inhale draws the length up through the spine, and the exhale revolves from the navel center. Now for some of you, it might be natural to grab onto that big toe. So take that extra release if you want, and you can take the drishti to the underside of the hand again if that serves your neck today. Just find where it works for you. As always, stay in your comfort zone, but be prepared to challenge yourself so that you can not only release deeper into the body and get healing for the internal organs, but to release deeper into consciousness, to change patterns, to change old habits, addictions. So shift to the other side. Inhale always pulls energy into the body, and it's about length. The exhale takes us deeper. We are revolving with this pose, so not only do we get the release out of the navel center, but the underside chest starts to revolve around as well. There's that option to take the big toe and the gaze to the underside of the top hand. Top shoulder blades drawing down the back, and this top arm is very lengthened. You might notice that if you're not focused there, your elbow's bending and this bit of a kind of sloppy top arm. But you want to get extended. You want to get energy in every part of the body. This is why yoga takes us into meditation. We're moving, but we're so focused and full of breath that we are meditating as well. See if you can slip into that space. Moving meditation. Very powerful. You can take that into everyday life then. Always be centered. So let's come on into a vinyasa, because this is a vinyasa class after all. So wrap those knees in with crossed legs. Come up to the side of the feet, step the hands down, and step your way back to plank. You know what you're doing. All the way to the floor. The inhale is cobra. The exhale is downward facing dog. Having some breaths here. Feeling and loving all that you are. Every part of you, your body, your personality, your mind, all the emotions, your spirit, your life. Just be in love with you now and always. Look up between the hands, pull back on that exhale. Here's that cross leg again to transition us back to the floor, and we'll come on down onto our spine. Always feels wonderful to lay against Mother Earth. We're going to continue with our theme of, again, it's like a squat, but this time it's a supine or a laying down action. But we've still got that knee to chest. We're getting that cleanse into the digestive organs. And we actually call this one the wind releasing pose, and I'm sure you can understand why. So just start to pull into the chest, and then after a few breaths, pull the knee slightly to the side and go deeper with the exhale. So really get into the colon. So ideally, you want to start on your right side, the ascending colon. And then let's do a spinal twist here. If you started on the left side like I did, don't worry. I'm just doing the leg that's closest to you so you can see me. So move into that Supta Matsyendrasana. Keep the shoulder down of the extended arm and look out to that extended arm. The knee can come down to wherever it feels right for you. And enjoy the spinal twist, the floating of Kundalini from base to crown. This awakening force, your potential spiritual energies. Twists always are just so powerful. We're going to center up with the inhale and then exhale. Let's go into that wind releasing pose on the other side. So I'm now pulling in my right leg, but the reason why I mentioned that right normally would go first and then left, it's not a golden rule by any means, but the reason would be that right is the ascending colon. So when you do the left side second, you get the descending colon. So whichever side you've started on is perfect. Pull that knee out to the side after a while and then go a little bit deeper. Really squeeze it in. Think about what you want to wring out of your life, what you want to let go of, what's no longer serving your higher good. It's not only detoxing physically, but always emotionally detoxing with our yoga practice. Here's our final beautiful twist. We always finish a yoga class with the twist. Helps us to realign the spine. Helps us to get the chakras then also in one line to receive maximum universal energy. To help you to draw energy into those chakras and then radiate it back out into the universe so that you are shining your light. It's not just metaphorical. You are literally shining more light through your chakras. And the chakras govern and heal into the endocrine glands and into the organs of the physical body. So there's a lot going on here. Your inhale is to center you up, and your exhale is just to have a wriggle around so you're in the best position for your Shavasana. Try to keep that spine straight, palms turned up beside the body, fingers curled in slightly, feet flopped out to the side. The eyes are closed. Your breath is flowing. We sometimes find as we meditate that our breath doesn't seem to be as full anymore. It certainly is deep. It's still deep there in the lower belly, but something takes over. It's almost as if we're being breathed. So you might find that you don't have to put so much focus into the fullness of breath because it's so deep now. It's happening of its own natural accord. So technically, yes, you're still breathing through the three chambers of the body, lower belly, up into the ribs, ribs up into the chest to the collarbones and back down again. But because this action is now happening for you effortlessly, It's just so wonderful to become the breath, to move into the rhythm of that breath, to be breathed. See if you can slip into this space now, a true state of meditation. And we choose not to engage our thoughts. It's a very powerful intention to become the observer to the thoughts, not to buy into them, not to let a certain thought take us off into analysis or problem solving or planning, but just to watch that thought come in and then let it trickle away again. This is your time to allow universal messages to awaken within you through the stillness that you create, through observing the gaps between your thoughts. You have merged with universal energy. You have become one with all that is. And all knowledge, all wisdom is available to you in this space. Be open. Sense the openness of the front body, the vulnerability of the front body to receive. We need to be vulnerable to receive. Think about this in your personal relationships. If you're not vulnerable, you're not receiving. You may dearly want all that love and connection, but if you haven't opened to it, how are you going to draw it in? We learn how to be vulnerable. We learn how to be in our power and know that we cannot be harmed or hurt in a vulnerable state. The ego will tell you that you can, and you control things and you push people away and you stay guarded. But actually, through your vulnerability, but by loving yourself first and foremost, you have no requirements of anyone else. And the paradox is that this is when you receive all the love from external forces. Not because you're attached to it, not because you're needy for it, but because you're in the give and the take. You're in the receiving. You're in that divine flow, giving, receiving, sharing, loving, expression. It's truly amazing. Feel it here between yourself, your higher self, your universal self. Be in this state of receptivity. Be in this state of surrender. Know that all true love begins within yourself, for yourself. And as we learn to be love, we can shine love upon any soul who crosses our path. We can always nurture and love ourselves in the way that we may have needed or expected from others. We can live, therefore, in a state of gratitude in all moments, because we are so connected to all that is. Continue to flow with your breath, to move deeper within, to feel that true power, that true love, that natural state, knowing that all other experiences are an illusion, and that until we learn to be loving, we'll keep repeating those patterns of negativity until love comes to pass. We're coming out of our practice, just starting to move the body, wriggling fingers and toes, inhaling the arms above the head and exhaling, rolling out into recovery pose. Resting here for a few breaths, just getting ready to come back into the world out here, keeping that fire in the heart of love always available for yourself and for others. Make your way back to Siddhasana, palms turned up and over the knees. We're going to finish as we started the class today, and we're going to bring those hands into our lotus mudra. Remember, this is all about your chalice of receptivity. So link together the thumb and the pinkies. I'll tap together. The other fingers are spread, the openness at the Anahata chakra. Coming into a beautiful Om. Inhale. Om. Take the hands up to the sky. Receive, feel, give, love. The exhale, just let those hands drop down and over the knees. Pause, breathe. And as we close our practice today, as always, hands coming to Anjali Mudra at the heart chakra. Namaste.